As I was kind of playing around tonight, working through the G major scale, came up with what I thought was a fun drill, so I wanted to capture it here. Basically, what I was doing is I was thinking through, particularly the Brown Eyed Girl intro and how they were following the chords and using the double stops. I was just kind of playing through the 4, 5, and 6 chords along with their fourth in the key of G. So here we've got C, and it's third, major third, fourth, and the fifth. And I just slid down to the D and did the same thing. And then down to the E. And what makes the E a little bit differently, or a little different, is you've got a flat third instead of a major third. So you've got a little bit more of a stretch there, because you've got to come down and pick the fifth up, you're covering an extra fret than you would normally cover. Normally, you generally cover a fret per finger. And a little bit more of a stretch on that one, but since you're so far down on the neck, it's not really an overstretch. And you kind of work back up the chords. And you can do the same. So I'm doing that on the G and B strings. You can also do it on the other strings too. So here on the D and G strings, for the G chord, you could do the same thing. Then you could step down and do that for the 1 and 2 as well. So for the A and the B. A little bit more of a stretch to hit that the A and B here on the D and G strings. A little bit more of a stretch, still doable though. I think one thing that makes this a really nice drill is not only is it working, you're moving around the different strings and up and down the fretboard, but you're also having to combine understanding the chords that go with the key and the scales and the patterns across the strings, so where your third, fourth, and fifth sit in relation to the different strings. So I'm liking this drill a lot. I'm going to start working this one into my practice more. And it's also nice because it makes you think as you're moving up and down the fretboard. Sometimes you kind of get mindless as you're moving. You just always say keep your index finger on the note you're targeting. But for this, you've got to think a little bit more ahead, because so going from the 4, so here the C, we go down to the 5, the D. That index works for those two, but then when you go to step to the 6th, you want to use your middle finger instead, so you can cover that to get to the flat third, the 4th, and the 6th. I'm sorry, flat third, 4th, and the 5th. If you did it with move down with your index finger, there'd be too much movement to catch that flat third. So just it's a fun drill, and I think it may lend itself to being used in some soloing as well if you're following the chord tones. Because again, so you've got for each chord the root, third, fourth, and fifth. You could also easily pick up the second for each. So again, I'll play through that kind of slowly. So we can start on the root here. 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, root. Go to the fourth. 1, 3, 4, 5, and back. Down to the fifth. And it really starts to exercise and get you used to replacing your fingers as you're moving from string to string and up and down. So, good drill. I'm liking this one. I think I'm going to keep it in my practice routine. You also have to incorporate alternate picking in there to pick the speed up as well.